Hey YouTube, how's it going? It's Cad. And, oh, where's Oscar? There's Oscar. Let's try this again. Hey YouTube, how's it going? It's Cad. Oh, hey YouTube, how's it going? It's Cad. And I'm here to follow up on my Linux video. As many of you guys know, it wasn't my best work, but it wasn't my worst work either. It definitely got the most comments of any video that I've ever made, which is really nice, although a lot of them were sort of saying that my video was objectively wrong. And I ended up responding to a lot of them and saying the same things, so this video is going to be my definitive response. I'm done replying to comments on that video. And yeah, I really want to set the record straight because a lot of you guys brought up some really good points, and it would be disingenuous of me to not talk about those points because I felt like a lot of them were great. This isn't an apology video, but this is me setting the record straight. So the first point, and the one that was talked about a lot, was my gaming point. Essentially, I said that gaming on Linux is not as good as on Windows. The point that I made about gaming was both correct and incorrect. Linux does a better job at running games than Windows when both Windows and Linux have games. Linux does a lot better of a job performance-wise, which was something that was an issue a few years ago. I didn't realize the extent of how good Proton was, and so I even looked it up afterwards and I realized, holy shit, it's gotten a lot better than when I last checked. The problem is, Linux still doesn't have the quantity of games that Windows does, and there are some notable titles like Fortnite that aren't compatible on Linux yet. Now for some, this isn't a big deal, you just don't have to play Fortnite and you can move on. There are people that have moved across the country to get better ping on their Fortnite. If you think that you can just tell those people to put the game down and find another thing, I think that's not fair. While we're talking about gaming, I think it'd be nice to talk about the fact that there are deal breakers on Windows. There are things that I would love to have on Linux that I can't have on Linux, and because I can't have those things, I'm not switching to Linux just yet. As I mentioned at the start of my last video, I am a college student, and there are certain test-taking software that I need for some classes that I cannot run on Linux for the life of me. Looking at you, Lockdown Browser. Now, there may be a workaround around this. I haven't found one online for a workaround around Lockdown Browser. Last time I checked, it doesn't run on Linux. And even if it did, I wouldn't trust the sanctity of my grade and the amount of money I'm pouring towards my college degree towards whether or not some guy's workaround is going to work on my Linux machine for one test. These deal breakers exist not just in academia, in the workforce too. The Microsoft Office suite is used by a lot of companies. Many of the ones that I've worked at use Microsoft Office. As much as you want to roast it, it's a lot easier for people to just use Microsoft Office than it is to uproot everyone and switch them over to LibreOffice. While we're talking about LibreOffice, I'd like to segue into my next point. I am not against free and open source software. I know I dunked on it a little bit because I was saying that it doesn't compete with the industry standard. However, I love open source software. I love free software. I made a whole video about why I prefer free software to paid software. My stance on that hasn't changed because I now have the Adobe suite that I use. Even though I have Photoshop, most of my thumbnails, including the one for the Linux video, were done in Paint.net, which is a free software. Let me make something clear. If I have kids, I'm getting them a computer, and I'm likely going to put Linux on it. I think that Linux is not only more efficient than Windows in terms of day-to-day operations, but I think that it gives people a much better opportunity to learn how your computer works. You're less likely to get viruses on your shit. It's free, which I know Windows you can get around that, but it's free to use Linux. And I think that learning on Linux would set people up for boundless understandings of their computer and the workings of their computer. That said, not everyone needs to do that. I think that a lot of people should. I think that if you have the time and you have the energy to care, you should, in the same way that I think you should learn another language. You don't need to learn another language, but you should. And for a lot of people who only care about playing Fortnite, for a lot of people who only care about using their Adobe suite or their Microsoft suite, Linux just doesn't work for them. That is a deal breaker, and there's nothing you can do about it. I want to thank you guys for your comments, because without your comments, I wouldn't understand the sort of things I missed, the things I got wrong, and the things that I can improve on in the future. Don't take this follow-up video as me dissing you guys or starting a war with you guys. I do realize that my first video was a lot more unprofessional. It was very ranty, and it was hate-fueled because I was thinking about some junior that was ripping on Windows in this really sarcastic video. I don't know, a very vocal minority of the Linux community. It's not true to who I am as a character, and going forward, I don't think that I'm going to be as off the cuff with Linux. So I'd like to thank the comment section for bringing some points up to me, especially the Proton one, because I didn't realize how good Proton has gotten. And yeah, I really hope I don't have to make another Linux video. I don't hate Linux. I actually love Linux. But there's so many other things that I have in my notes about, oh, try this video idea. Oh, try that video idea. So I'm going to be sticking with those going forward. But if you come here from the Linux video, hi. Hope we corrected some things and hope I could get some things cleared up about my points. And if you still disagree with the idea that not everyone can use Linux or not everyone should use Linux, I don't know what I can say to convince you. And with that, I've been Ked. Sorry to pull a pirate software on you guys and be a little bit narcissistic here, but it is what it is. Thank you guys so much for watching. We hit the 70 subs barrier and then we got 73, which I'm very happy about. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but honestly, you know, it's good to see the ball rolling at some capacity. Not even a year ago, I was sitting at 50. And so, you know, seeing it at 73 is really nice. And thank you guys that subbed for the video. Thank you guys that liked. Thank you guys that disliked. And thank you guys that commented, because without you guys, we wouldn't have this video here today. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. And if you dislike, leave a dislike and tell me why you hate it. And with that, I've been Ked. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.